Hi, my name's Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. Oh, we just lost Steven. And you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the second in our series for September of 2021. Our series is Airlock, a game by Chad Walker. And we're going to get 4 games out of this, and we're pretty excited. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, so named because it happens on Saturdays normally, and it's Star Wars games. I take different RPGs and I shape and reskin and sometimes hack them to fit into Star Wars. This game took no hacking. This is just straight up as is Airlock, a game that Chad Walker released as a 1.5, and it's pretty darn functional. But it is more complex than the style of RPG that I normally run on Star Wars Saturdays. But I have a wonderful group who are very understanding and also super smart. So we will make our way through it. I'm pretty excited. And yeah, I teased or kind of dropped a little bit of hints near the end of last session, leading us into our storyline. And I'm very excited. I'll share more as we go along. Oh, some sound cutting out. Oh, that's not good. I'm sorry, people are having some issues. Yeah, I'm not using my voice mod. So I don't think it's my fault, but hopefully that restart will help. Sabine, let's talk about safety. We do have lines and veils, as well as ask firsts, and the X card, which is our trump card in a good way, allows us to be safe as we play this game. And so with all of the safety stuff out of the way, hopefully, Sabine, your audio sounding better? You sounded better, Sabine? Less clippy?
I don't know. It's not clippy. It's just the audio just stops. I can see you talking. Picture is fine. Everything is fine, but you just don't hear a sound. It might be the headphones. I don't know.
That's frustrating. I hate when that happens to me. Cool. Okay. Well, hopefully it will clear up. Or has cleared up. I don't know. Let's remind ourselves of our characters because we created them. They had brief scenes last week. So we'll start from the left heading to the right, which means Joe. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
I'm Joe. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Genola Jantek. Her call sign is Star Dancer. Also she, her. She's a Zeltron. I've played her in every single Star Wars Saturday game that I have been in. So she's had a wild and varied career, and I don't really know what her role on the ship is, but I think she might end up being the shield engineer. That's the only role we don't have, so we'll see.
I repeat what the computer says. It's a dumb job, but I'm going to do it. Thank you so much.
Great movie.
Yes, very great movie. Anyone that's like, what are we talking about? Galaxy Quest, please watch it if you don't know. Next up is Sabine. If you could introduce yourself, if you can hear me, and tell us about your character.
Yeah, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I am playing Grask Tarvo, who uses he, him pronouns. Grask is a Weequay. He is a smuggler, pilot mostly. He's worked as a smuggler, as a pirate, I guess. He's also worked as a Republic soldier through various, mostly through bad luck on his part, but he survived. So, I mean, okay, fine. Luck is the thing that he's got a complicated relationship with. Grask is mostly not very enthusiastic or kind, or he's grumpy. Grumpy is the word I'm looking for. I'm just babbling until that word comes to me. Grask is grumpy. Yeah, that's what he is.
Yes, he's quite the curmudgeon. I adore Grask and his curmudgeonliness. Last but not least, Stephen, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, my name's Stephen, and my pronouns are he, him. And today I'm playing Tiny, who is a Gregorian, whose pronouns are also he, him. Gregorians are like big white Wookiees, like thick white Wookiees, and we see them briefly in like one of the movies. No big deal. Anyway, so Tiny is named such because that's kind of ironic. He's not that tiny. He's this big white puppy dog that doesn't know his own strength. And he was modified by the Imperials for gladiatorial sports with like injections that cause him to get very aggressive and angry and enhance his strength and all of that. And he hates the Imperials. He saw the how people were treated under the Imperials and mistreated, and just can't stand it. So
Very brief aside before we jump back in. Last night, I was trying to work out some stuff and prep for this game because this is the game that demands prep. And my wife looked over my shoulder and saw Janella, but in the upper left-hand corner is, the name Star Dancer. And she said, really? Someone's character is named Star Dancer? I said, no, that's her call sign. See, the name's Janella Gentek. Oh, okay. And then I already had her attention, so I'm like, see, here are the other characters. And she said, oh, what's on that guy's mouth? The Gagarin, like, what is on his mouth? That looks so weird. And I said, oh, that's a translator. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I said, look, he's actually cute. And I looked up another picture of a Gagarin, and she said, oh, that's adorable. That's like a big puppy. So she's a fan of Tiny. She goes, oh, really? Named him Tiny? I said, it's one of those. She goes, yes, I know. I know what it is. So, okay. So
Lucas and his ability to find cute little animals to suck in the kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. Giving away a bit of my age, but I've once had two puppies, one of which was named Wicket. So the Ewoks just adorable.
Ewoks are the best.
Yep.
People that don't like them, get out.
Right? It's just so sad. Why do
Unless Stephen and Sabine, you can stay if you don't like them.
I have to admit, whenever I was young, I watched Star Wars whenever I was young, and I was in high school or later whenever Return of the Jedi came out, and I saw the Ewoks, and it made me feel weird because it was like, they're cute, they're intended for kids, and I hadn't quite grasped that yet. It's like, I'm too old to watch little kid teddy bears, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
But they eat people.
Yeah, I was weirded out by Ewoks for a long time, but then we played, I think Daniel MK ran his Ewok thing.
Yeah, David MK. Yeah.
And that was so amazing. It was one of the most heartwarming and kind of fun and kind, and yeah, that was amazing. It's an amazing game.
Oh geez, now I got
we got to hunt down that video. It was a hack of one of John Harper's games that he did, right? The Wildling or something, I think.
I have no idea. I played it and then I forgot all
that was part of last year's Star Wars Saturdays mini-con, if I remember correctly, right? Which is coming up again in December. Look at this. I'm like so promo, but also promo for the community.
Now I've got a Jim Crocker idea where, he does the Last Jedi or the final the final Stormtrooper, where it's just the Ewoks hunting down the Stormtroopers.
Oh, that's kind of dope. I would be into that.
But then you're playing a Stormtrooper, and they all suck because they're terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe, I don't think you were like involved as much, but I did a few, like a series last year where it was all like you're playing Stormtroopers and they mostly got killed. It was great. It was like, yep, you're gonna die. You're kind of playing the bad guys, and everybody got into it. It was cool.
I think we've all noticed throughout the years, there's a lot of ex-Stormtroopers that end up playing in these games. It's like, we made so many mistakes in our lives.
Yes, that is a true statement. All right.
Well, the character I'm going to play tomorrow is the next Stormtrooper as well. So.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
You're running that game.
All right. In last session, we started off at the inaugural game, Rocket Skate game at the new arena that is located on the place that, I don't know if home might be a little generous, the place where you currently dock, Spaceport Black Orchard. And the Rocket Skate Arena is located just off of the main runways where spaceships, starships will come and go. and the game was quite fun. Janella jumped in as a sub and helped the Larse Legionnaires win. Then Janella, it's aka Star Dancer, headed off to the Lucky Tauntaun, the primary bar and cantina of a Spaceport Black Orchard, where upon a large group of primarily Kashiri, which are the purple-skinned humanoids, miners lauded you and asked for autographs and probably hit on you as well. Meanwhile, after the long party, I believe it was Grask and also your engineer Rusty went off and found out there was someone who was about to be assassinated by an IG droid. So a large fight broke out. The entire crew got together to help defeat the IG droid. I believe your engineer, who's also kind of your science officer / doctor, he wears a lot of hats. Rusty took Kemcelis, who was pretty badly wounded, and said, I'll get him back to the Ember, which is the ship that you guys all call your actual home. And before he passed out from the pain, Kemcelis had said, Cameras, you got to find my buddy Cameras, and he passed out. So we begin with that bit of knowledge. And if I remember correctly, Janella, I told you that you knew one of the other Kashiri who was currently still at the Lucky Tauntaun is this Cameras.
I think you told me about that because I had fleeced.
That's right. You fleeced him with all the thank you very much, Sabine. I was like, there's something fuzzy about this thing, and that was what it was the wrong person. So thank you for that. So yes, you know who Cameras is, Grask, as the three of you, Tiny, Janella, and Grask, are all standing there while Rusty is taking Kemcelis off to your ship. So what is it that you do?
I'm looking at the other two and say, so do you want to find this Cameras kid? I know where he is.
Yeah, we should probably stop him from dying.
And I think Tiny is standing there looking over the remains of that IG droid that he's kind of ripped apart, and he's like, and I think Janella shot it, and deactivated it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tiny's like, I think he kind of looks at it and then he kind of shuffles a little bit and shuffles it into the corner next to, we're kind of in an alleyway, and kind of puts it next to some of the other garbage, and then kind of goes back to stand next to the others like everything's okay.
Toe over a little like IG leg there to make sure that nobody can see it until later.
And I look at Tiny and say, good thinking. We can get them up later and sell the parts.
Cool. So the three of you walk quickly, and if you're taking a look at our little map, you were near those three hangars, which were just above the number 2 Igor, the Igor Tower, and you're headed back towards the Lucky Tauntaun Cantina. There are those electrified fences that help to keep people working along, and as you're headed into that large kind of parking area where the Lucky Tauntaun Cantina is, you guys are just there when all of a sudden there's this huge explosion at the Lucky Tauntaun Cantina. It's one of those that, I mean, probably not Tiny because you're a big guy, but the little map is to the right of the NPC. Starts at column L and the NPCs in places. But the Lucky Tauntaun Cantina, half of it just boom. And it's the kind of thing that, I mean, Janella, I would imagine you get knocked off your feet. And there's fire. And then I think maybe Tiny, from your vantage point, being super tall, you see a lone figure on a speeder bike zip off. So what do the three of you do?
Tiny turns to the other two and makes sure and gets them on their feet and says, we could go help. There was somebody who ran off that way on a speeder bike. And
I'm just glad. I'm just glad I was in there, and I'm holstering my blaster, which I threw while it was knocked off because,
Reflexes.
Yeah, and I put it in. Let's go see if there's something we can do. Probably not.
Yeah,
so.
though let's check to see if I'm rushing towards. I'm just not even saying. I'm just rushing
Okay.
straight towards the
Cool.
cantina.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm lingering behind a little because Tiny can carry people and Janella seems to be very enthusiastic. I want to keep an eye out because there's somebody is gone, but who knows, right?
Sure.
Keep an eye out for trouble.
Awesome. So then Star Dancer and Tiny are heading towards the danger, and Grask, you're trying to keep an eye out. Let's set up a roll here. So I did not find, other than moves that will remove danger from folks, there is no default helping mechanic in this particular game, but we'll put this to a roll. And so this that I'm referring to is heading in and trying to either suppress the fire or get people out. So I think, Janella, you were the first to run off. So I'll give you the first determination. As you get to the Lucky Tauntaun Cantina, you see that there is a very large fire, that there appear to be, like, you can see the burning husks of corpses, but you think you also may see people inside. Well, burning husk of corpses, totally throwing back to New Hope, right? Kind of deal. But you may see some people inside. Maybe they're still alive. So, which is more important to Janella? Trying to find some way to stop this fire, or dashing in,
getting the people out
despite the danger? All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had a good time here, and they might be friends, and even not, they're still in danger.
Awesome. So, which tactic do you want to apply here? It feels like to me, as I'm looking across the little skills to the right of each of the tactics, that rush might be something that you're doing.
Yeah, that was calling out to me just because I'm rushing in.
Yeah,
that was.
And as
I don't know if there's like a
trainee,
sub thing that
each a passage counts each 10 as 2 successes. So you've got 3 in rush. You're going to be rolling 3d10 and then filling out to 5 dice, 2d6. Yep. But each 10 that you roll will count as 2 successes.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I don't remember how this works.
That's okay. In the
6 and up
airlock rules, yes, you are looking for
no ones. So
a result of 6 or more on any die is a success. A result on any of 1 on any die is a botch. So no botches, 1 success. And if you take a look at the airlock rules, 1 success, voidnauts just barely succeeded at the task they were attempting. Player narrates the outcome of the roll, but the GM adds some type of complication to that narrative. And I think the complication is that I'm going to, and we will jump to readouts. I think I'm going to add some danger to you. You're combating the fires, what I'm going with. And so we'll add 3 danger to you.
And what do talents do? They add 3 successes.
Yes, they cost fatigue, but they add 3 successes. You can do that after the roll. So if you wanted to throw that in, you certainly can.
Nah, danger's good.
Okay, you're still going to get. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it would go to 4 instead of.
Yep, and so
1,
there'd be no danger. So you
danger's fine.
Narrate your success, but it's like a flat, not super duper success.
Yeah, like I'm rushing in and like trying to like circumvent the fires, but like there's one part where it's like no, you just gotta like rush right through as I like go to like grab people and shoulder them to try to get them out of there.
Nice.
As, like inhaling smoke or whatever.
You're coughing really hard as you're trying to drag people out. Let's jump to Tiny. Tiny, what are you doing?
So I'm sort of support. I think that I see Janella rush into past the flames, trying to grab people. And, I think Tiny kind of immediately steps forward and starts trying to clear a path through the flames for people to get out. I think this consists of taking parts of the building and there's this strut and pushing it over the flames to kind of put them out on this side so that people can safely get through, that kind of thing.
Cool. So which tactic do you feel like is most applicable here?
So it's difficult to tell, but I would guess maybe it's rush as well because it has athletics under it.
Yeah, that could work for me. So you're trying to move stuff and open a pathway to help out. That sounds good. Let's go ahead and have you rush. Now, you do have an adrenaline injector that can help you with rush here. That will convert a 1 botch into 1 success. And you also have a voidnetic, which affects your rush as well. 2 progress per success instead of just 1. Cool.
And that is the voidnetic reduces your danger by 1 at the beginning of every round. Is that right?
Let's see. That is your galaxy brain. You have a gravity spurs. Am I looking? Yeah. You have something called gravity spurs that it allows rush to add 2 progress per success instead of just 1.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I just wasn't sure. There's the roll button.
But if you applied a talent to help your rush, it wouldn't become 6.
So if I see the roll correctly, I have 1 botch, but I convert that to a success.
Yep.
I have 2 other successes and a 10.
Now, that 10, if you had a passage in the evasion column, that 10 would have been 2 successes, but it's not. So that 10 is still a solid success. You have a total of 4 successes, which if you jump to the airlock rules, 3 or more successes, you succeeded dramatically at the task you were attempting. You narrate the outcome of the roll, emphasizing your skill and heroism. And I'm adding 4 ticks. So that's a full hit because you hit the 5th tick. So you're making some significant progress. And if you want to narrate in you and Janella working together to save a few people, you certainly can.
I think what this looks like on screen is Tiny runs in and literally grabs a hold of there's this wall that's coming down. And as Janella rushes past, he kind of catches the wall and pushes it back so that it falls against the other direction, opening up this space where people can come in. And whenever it collapses, it smothers a lot of the flames that are on the other side. So there's less light to see from, but there's less flame to be a concern. And it's kind of opened this pathway. And we see a couple of people as he's pushing, scream and run past him behind him.
Nice. That looks awesome. The 2 of you are working together. You've saved a number of people. Grask, you're peering off at that person who sped off on their speeder bike. Do you have do we dramatically see you with one of the little monocular things, or
No, this guy's going. I'm looking around for people who are still there. If he's going, then it's fine. He's not gonna probably not gonna blow up the thing again if he's gone, right? Oh, that's a good point though. Yeah, no, if I'm just looking around, if there is some other clear threat, and if there's not, well, okay, then I'll just try to. I know about demolitions, right? I know what to do. So that means that I know about structural integrity, and also I have this swarm droid, right? My little bus droid buddy, and maybe he can go in there and just see that this thing doesn't collapse on everybody who's in there, like Janella or Tiny, especially not Tiny. Tiny's my ward. No.
That's right. You got to take care of the little guy.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you're moving in,
Right.
getting, asking your buzz droid to go check things out. But just you caught enough of a sight. You caught enough of a glimpse at the person fleeing on the speeder bike that you recognized. Number 1, they're wearing Mandalorian armor.
Right.
Number 2, this person goes by the name of Farragus.
Okay.
How do you know Farragus the Mandalorian?
I've done some bounty hunting stuff, right? And when you do bounty hunting stuff, you come up against Mandalorians because they think they're the greatest bounty hunters who ever lived by dint of their Mandalorianness. So, yeah. So I was here trying to find this little guy who was owing money and talk to him like reasonable and try to talk to him into giving up the money, which I knew he had. And then this Mandalorian stumps in, kind of stuns that guy, drags him off, freezes him in carbonite, nearly freezes me in carbonite, and nobody got any money, right? He just totally botched the job, and he was so proud of it.
Oh, she just botched the whole job, huh? That's a shame.
Yeah,
it's okay. I've got a pick of Farrages
okay,
and their NPCs now. If you want to take a look.
No, she did. She just rushed in, did I stun him, freeze him, bring him back to the person he owes money to, and that was not very useful because the money was in perishable goods.
Cool. Yeah, so you recognize Farrages, but you're heading in to help out Janella and Tiny. And see, we've gotten your first hit on this overall. If you want to make a tactics move of some kind to help them out, you certainly can. You're using your little droid, so definitely could hit rush with that.
Yeah,
with that
probably
break.
Because what I'm less interested in dragging people out. I'm more interested in making the structure a little more sound, maybe turning on the sprinkler or the fire suppression system,
absolutely.
Stuff like that.
Cool.
Right?
So your rush is 4 dice. You're rolling 4d10, 1d6.
Okay, and I have a break on this.
You do. So hope you roll some botches. You also have a passage on this. So
I'm really good at this. So
you are made for this.
I'm made? No, I'm not made for this. Okay, rolling. Okay, there's a 10, one, there's 2 successes, and the one gets to be a success, so that's 3.
And the 6 is already a success, so it's actually 4. So your 2 counts as, your 10 counts as 2, your 6 is a regular natural success, and then the 1 botch becomes a success. 4. So 4. It's a whole lot of bits. I'm gonna do my best to try to help us keep track of them. I'm making mistakes. But yeah, 4 successes. That is going to basically knock out the threat of the fire. Everyone who was harmed or killed by it are harmed or killed by it, but you're able to bring things to a close here. So Grass, tell us what that looks like as you stop the continuing threat of this fire.
I'm just sending up my friend here, level 28, like, go in there, stop the fire, please. No, he doesn't say please. Go in there, stop the fire. They got to have a fire suppression system. Can't believe that they just rushed in before doing that. Kids these days. And while 28 is in there doing whatever they're doing, they use it pronouns. So whatever it's doing, I will take a look out for that Kashiri boy.
All right, cool. So you find, I think with the number of successes you guys knocked out, that you find a pretty badly burned, but not quite dead Zaz Kimaraz. You knew him. You grifted him, so you were able to pick him up.
Didn't grift him. I played sabacc with him. And I barely cheated.
Okay, all right. So you barely grifted him. Anyway, you recognize the top knot. A table had fallen over top of him. He did take a brunt of this. Things are not going to go. He's definitely going to need more medical care. But when the 3 of you finish pulling everybody out who can walk, carrying people out, there's fire suppressors because they have crashes on the landing pad occasionally, the field. So as you guys are coming, you're hearing the sirens and klaxons as the spaceport authorities are bringing their fire suppressing units and kind of helping out. They're not taking over and kicking guys out of the way as much as coming in to help with remainder of fire suppression. There are some medical folks on staff who are helping out, but do you turn over cameras, Grask?
No, you never know pace these guys, and right now somebody's after him, and I feel that we may have some stims or stuff on the Ember. So let's get him to somewhere where he can't be exploded some more.
Okay, cool.
Why do
So
I care about this?
you start to, I mean, is Grass the kind of person to like pick up firemen, carry this person out of here? Or are you asking
That's
Tiny?
what we've got Tiny for.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. So Tiny, you start to, I assume when you're told to carry a Kashiri, do you just do the thing or?
I think normally I wouldn't, but because it's Grask, I like walk over and very tenderly pick up cameras like this, so I'm not going to hurt him anymore. Tossing me over my shoulder might be painful. Just pick him up like this, and kind of look expectantly at Grask like.
Let's get him to the ship. That's who they were after. That's who they exploded this thing for. So let's get him to the ship. Give him some kind of medical thing, and then figure out what's going on here.
Cool.
Why that's even our problem.
Awesome. So we do a star wipe with the first time we step foot onto the Ember. What is so Tiny as you're coming up the little gangway into the Ember, our very large ship? What are a couple of things that stand out for us as the audience about the ship, like the look of it?
It's not. So number one, Tiny has the duck whenever he steps up the gangplank to fit inside. But it's got a kind of an extra wide gangplank, so like two people side by side could walk in.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we see the inside, it's well lit, and it's not dirty, but it's not luxurious. It's very utilitarian, so it's very gray, sleek metal kind of insides where we can, see that the ship probably wasn't intended for, taking people on a cruise, but it hasn't seen a lot of use either.
Nice. I imagine you guys are coming in the lower deck. So the lower deck is dominated by the cargo bay, and you hustle over to take a turbo lift up to number 9, which is the science lab. Now, as a reminder, Rusty, played by Jason, is an NPC for this session, and Rusty is already in the process of caring for the first person who shot a lot. So I will try my best and fail terribly. Apologies around. As Rusty looks up from the one gurney, like bed that he has set up, and sees that you're carrying someone else in, Tiny, he says, we only have one gurney. Tiny, let's get that one into the back to tank. And he'll move over, kind of gruff, start cutting off clothing and get him down to his underoos so that you can put him into the back to tank with an oxygen mask.
Before we get him into the back to tank, though, can you give him a stim so we can talk to him?
Looks at you and says,
there's somebody after him, okay? I want to know what's going on. Before we put him into the back to tank, he can't talk to us when he's in the back to tank. Ever try talking when you're in the back to tank? It's not working.
I mean, it sounds like you're confronting him.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Are you confronting Rusty, or are you confronting?
I think so. I think Rusty wants to like get this person in a back to tank, and you want to make this guy wake up and talk. Right?
Yeah,
Does that feel fair? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it makes Tiny interject here. Do you mind?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Tiny points over to the friend. What was his friend's name? Kim Sellis, and says, Kim Sellis can talk.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Can he?
sweet. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then put him into the Bacta tank, whatever.
Yeah, that makes more sense than the one that's horribly burnt.
It's all good. That was good. You've obviated a roll through negotiations. Congratulations.
I don't. You have weird skin, all of you.
And I think that Tiny goes to put him into the Bacta tank.
He's got
This Bacta
fur.
tank is it's not like the big thing that you would see on a military installation. It's like a thin little, almost like an aquarium that's just tall enough. It's horizontal, and he sets the guy inside,
Interesting.
and it kind of
Yeah.
comes up and covers him completely so that he can start to heal.
Nice.
And Grass will look at this like, well, I really hate this stuff. If you've ever been in a Bacta tank, I really hate it. It's wet. It's wet.
Well, that's not the bad thing. It's viscous,
Yeah, that,
which also can be fun sometimes. But generally, you're never in a Bacta tank for a good reason.
right, yeah.
And of course, the two of you, Grask and Janella, realize that there's no way Tiny would ever fit in that thing.
Yeah, it'd be far worse for Tiny to go into a Bacta tank.
He'd only fit if somebody had chopped off his legs, which I really hope won't happen, Tiny. It's not.
I'm surprised he fits in the sonic shower.
Well, he doesn't smell, so he fits in something.
Okay.
Tiny's kind of looking back and forth between the two of them, like,
are you sure? You know what? We don't need to go into that. Anyway, hey, is it Kem? Kem's the one that's not going in the tank?
Kem's not in the tank. He was just shot a few times. And while he's definitely going to need some time to fully recover, Rusty is amenable to giving him a little injector of some stem to wake him up, because he feels like Kem is going to be able to mend up. But Kem's eyes flutter open. He looks around and then kind of narrows his eyes. You can maybe Grass, you'd pick up on the idea that this is a miner. Maybe this is super bright lights.
I'm letting Janella do the talking.
Who, by the way, as a reminder for this session, means that he goes into mines. He is not underage. Just as a reminder.
Wait, was it the opposite last week?
No, it was always he goes into mines. You guys, I did a poor job of explaining what I meant by miner, but in my head canon, it was always a bunch of people from a mine.
Okay, so I was right last week, and I didn't realize.
You were correct.
I really thought they were underage. They behaved a bit little underagey, so
that's why I'm like looking at these pictures. I'm like, maybe there are miners, but
yeah, it even says
I'm glad
asteroid miner.
I thought I had clarified last time, but yes, these are adult Kashiri who are asteroid miners. They mine things, but are of age.
Right. Okay.
No one objected to them getting drunk at the cantina because they are
Star
of age.
Wars.
It's all good.
What? There's no drinking age in Star Wars.
There's like nobody reading in Star Wars, technically.
Like anybody of us cares if they're underage or overage or whatever age, right? If they want to drink, they want to drink.
I want to say I like how Kem looks like a purple Bruce Campbell. So
he does, and what's funny is that picture is out in the world and didn't influence, but I'm sorry, side tangent. I ran a game and decided that I wanted to have a Kashiri as the uncle for an already Kashiri NPC. And so I actually photoshopped Bruce Campbell to be a purple dude. And then I saw this picture. I'm like, holy shit, it's him. It's so great.
All right. So, hey, what's his name? And I'm looking at Grask. You're the one that talked to him.
It's Kem. His name's Kem.
Hey, Kem. Hey, I'm Janella. You got shot up a bunch by an IG. mind telling us what that's about?
Is that brief pause to
I-
go? Sorry, I had to show the picture. So he says, nobody's ever shot at me before, but we slipped out on furlough before they shut the outpost down, but we found something. We've been mining in the asteroid field of Alderaan. It's it's not the greatest job, but it pays. And me and my buddies, we think we found the palace.
Okay.
Some people came in, and
Who's Frollo?
who's furlough ours? Like our team.
Oh, sorry. I thought he
know,
was a boss or something.
Oh no. We get a couple weeks off, and we weren't going to give up furlough, so we took
Oh,
off.
furlough. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, Zeltron ears.
it's okay. I know that Galactic Basic is difficult. Maybe if I spoke in cash.
Oh. Sure, whatever. No. We'll figure it out. Okay, so you think you discovered the Palace of Alderaan in the
Yeah, the
asteroid
Royal
field?
Palace, and it's in the graveyard, the asteroid field. One of the guys said that there's someone inside it, still alive. I don't know if I believe him, but Cameron said that it was Bail Organa.
And you think this is why somebody would try to kill you?
Your guess is as good as
You're
mine.
not in debt with anyone?
He kind of looks aside over at Grask. I mean, I owe your Weequay buddy a few credits, probably from.
Yeah, but that's like
but
not like
I'm
a
not-
gang, a
I'm not-
syndicate.
I'm not hiring Mandalorian bounty hunters for the few credits you owe me.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean,
No, listen.
I can bounty hunt myself.
The guy who runs Mining Outpost 11, Kathos Loof, he pretty much shut everything down. We kind of snuck off board. I didn't think he would kill us over it. I don't really understand why they sent an IG droid after me. That's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but if you found the palace, I mean, that's gotta be worth, I don't know, a lot of credits. And if there's somebody in there, who knows?
I mean,
That's
maybe
probably-
there's some salvagers who didn't want word to get out. I mean, Cameraz, he's the guy who runs the team. He said that we should sell it to the highest bidder. We were kind of counting our credits before we got them, I guess. Wow, you're really pretty in person, Janela.
Oh, thank
Maybe
you.
it's the drugs talking, but I think
It's not. It's not.
Okay. Good.
But thank you. It's always a pleasure to meet a fan. Always get upset when a fan gets shot. So maybe you could tell us the coordinates so we could like look into this for you.
Oh. I mean, I don't have the coordinates. If you go to Mining Outpost 11, though, it's in the computer. They've got a, it's pretty complex stuff. I guess a movie star like you wouldn't care about how mining stuff really works.
Well, I mean, if I had the right person to take me in and show me,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. So Mining Outpost 11, I can give you the coordinates.
All right,
And Rusty
Let's,
says
uh,
he
I
is not
grasp
leaving
it.
this. He's not leaving this gurney. He can give us whatever you guys need to pilot there, but I've got to stay on him, or things could get worse.
Fine. Yeah, but look, it'll still take us some time to get there, Rusty.
Are we going there?
Why wouldn't we?
Okay.
So
Look,
I mean,
if the Palace of Alderaan is still extinct and they found, or it still exists and they found it, and there's somebody there, there's got to be something worth looking into.
yeah, I'm not.
Also, I guess
that-
this is like a metagame question. What do we do? Like, what are our
That's
jobs?
a great question, because I was thinking you guys would be some kind of New Republic detachment, but then the backstories came out, and I'm like, nope, that's definitely not a thing. We'll figure it out in play.
I figure we're kind of smugglers kind of things.
Yeah, I think so. We're
Okay, that
kind of
makes sense.
private citizens making our way through the universe, through
Yeah.
the galaxy.
I
So,
think
like-
Tiny leans over and says, people, okay, so it sounds like Kathos Loof is trying to kill off anyone who knows about this place so that he can sell it to someone else.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why we should go in and get what we can.
I don't
Yeah, maybe-
disagree, but there are people who are going to be trying to stop us.
So
Yeah,
that's the name of the game, Tiny.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I object. I'm just
Oh, okay. Okay.
stating the obvious.
Yeah.
The intonation of the translator threw me off.
yeah. I
Also,
think
like,
I'm-
who's
I-
Kaphos? We can handle that. Whoever
I mean,
they
there's
are.
a Mandalorian. That's the one who blew up the cantina. Obviously, I mean, I know her a little. I've met her before. She's not great at her job.
Okay. I mean, see, like, look, never heard of this Kaphos, so that's one less worry. And and in the rarity that it is Bail Organa, we could get him out, return him to the Republic. Probably got a good finder's fee off that.
So it's going to look weird if we leave in a hurry right after the Lucky Tauntaun blows up.
Will it?
So
though?
we should talk to the authorities, and I suggest that Grask tell them about the Mandalorian that you saw that blew him up, so start things on their trail so they
Are
don't
they
come
also-
after us.
Are there authorities here that we would care about? I mean, come on. This is just some planet, right? If we leave here, then what are they going to do?
That's a good point. Are there authorities here on Black Orchard?
So, Spaceport Black Orchard is located in Zinj's empire. There are stormtroopers around,
Oh,
but
They're
it's
not in
also
charge.
kind of Cloud City-ish in its. Yeah, there's a few stormtroopers here. There's a very, very tiny garrison, but the spaceport authorities pretty much run everything, and then these guys are just, they're there in case Zinj says go. We got to take over this whole spaceport, and then they get back up and do that thing. Does that make sense?
We can just say, "Hey, we're not staying here. A cantina just blew up.
I mean, we're done here.
There's some
We-
crazy Mandalorian did some stuff. Let's get out."
Yeah, right. Because what we were clearly there helping people out. Why would we blow up a cantina and then help people get out of it? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Like I was just in that cantina. I mean,
Also, if I want to blow up a cantina, I'll do it properly. I'm just saying, this was just a hack job. I mean, this guy she was after, he survived. For her sake, I mean, that's just a botched job.
Dude with the worst
I mean,
assassins
just-
in the galaxy.
Just saying, not that I do assassin work, but if I would do it better. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
like-
saying.
it's almost as bad as falling into a Sarlacc pit.
I've never fallen into a Sarlacc pit. Oh wait, Boba Fett fell into a Sarlacc pit. I
Yeah.
know that one. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can drop her into one too. Can be a Mandalorian thing. I doubt there is a Sarlacc pit on the asteroids, though. I know that there is a clone settlement somewhere in the asteroid field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we need to get into that.
No, I don't think we need to get there, but if we need to hole up somewhere, that might be a good idea. I've got some connections.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
You're the
So-
Unbound.
Grask, you're the pilot.
I'm the pilot. Let's go.
get out of here.
Yeah, fine. Let's go and find the path of Alderaan.
We like cut to like a flashback montage of Janella competing for the Academy Cup as a starfighter pilot, but Grask is the pilot here.
He was already the pilot when they found me, so I'm the backup.
Sweet.
Also, this isn't a starfighter. It's
I mean,
more what I'm used to.
All of things are accurate. Just amusing that. It's just amusing to me. That's all. Cool. I am going to unhide a sheet. Mining Outpost 11 is the tab that you should now see in your character keeper. So that is a thing that I assume your buzz droid 28 pulls up for you as you're flying, Grask. and there's no stress, right? Like you guys just get on board the Ember, take off. You see like a little bit of smoke still trailing up from the Lucky Tauntaun as you guys fly away. And yeah, so you guys head to what is colloquially known as the Graveyard of Alderaan, an asteroid field made from the shattered chunks of the once great planet. And it turns out that, yes, there are some mining outposts that have been set up. And of course, within that graveyard, there is a small colony of clones that are surprisingly young. Those clones don't bother anybody, and nobody bothers them. So you emerge from hyperspace outside the asteroid field that was once Alderaan. Sensor checks indicate that no other ships are currently in the vicinity. And then I'm curious, what's the approach here for mining Outpost 11?
Are we the entertainment? And I look at Janella.
Well, we
Do
do
you-
have two of their employees, right?
Yeah, they maybe tried to murder.
No, they were on furlough.
Oh. Yeah, but if they're on furlough and come back,
Yeah, they came back because they're injured.
They're not
Are
going
we
to be
new
able to work.
hires?
Rusty
Are we
says they're
new
not going to be
hires?
able to work.
I don't know. We'll figure it out, right?
I mean, we could pretend we could just say, hey, we are the entertainment. Mining colonies are notoriously bored, right? And you're an actress or something, right, Janella? And Tiny, you can juggle.
So this is just the GM reminding you that these two guys were, so first of all, you were told by Kem, the Kathos Loof said, nobody leaves this station.
Oh, okay.
Then they left.
Okay. Whoops. I didn't.
just-
Kathos Loof's not in the list, so
Oh yeah, he's not. He was mentioned by Kem, and
Yeah.
I'll pull him up into
names
our
go
NPC.
in and out unless I. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
There we go. There he is. He is on B6.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we can't bring them back. Even though, all right. Let's just. I don't know. We got to figure out something. You got a droid. We can slice their system somehow, but yeah, let's bluff our
We
way
could-
in for entertainment, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could sneak in as entertainment if we think that they would have entertainment. We could sneak in as new, replacements.
So
Ah,
we may not have thought too clearly about this, but I mean, let's try. I mean, they said nobody goes out, but that's probably people that already knew about this all. So
And also we can still always say, hey, our ship is going to blow up if we
yeah,
don't repair it.
let's fake an emergency, and then that's how we get to land. And then the
yeah.
entertainment is how we get to like get inside.
Yeah, okay.
We were a cruise and rock group, and we had, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Cruising rock. Okay.
Easily in Grask, you can easily pick up signals from navigation beacons. You can follow those signals to the Alderaan system mining station outpost 11. Yeah.
And then we will fake a collision with an asteroid and.
Do you actually want to like pretend to collide with an asteroid?
Yeah, somebody we'll have something
Rusty,
blow up.
You're the engineer.
Yeah, Rusty's the engineer.
Can't you like fake
It's like,
a
I'm an
malfunction?
NPC, I don't roll dice. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
no, I'll roll to convince him to do it.
No, we can do both. I mean, he needs to fake up the emergency. I need to fake
Sure.
up that
He will fake
collision.
the emergency with the same amount of skill that you fake the collision.
Okay, faking a collision.
Let's see how well you pull this off. I want to see you
Okay.
pilot a little bit here.
I think that's stunt piloting, right?
I think so. That's pretty stunty, and you're super good at it. You have a passage as well as navigator's blood. So push adds 2 progress per success instead of just 1.
Okay.
Nice. So you're rolling 5d10, 1d6.
Reasonably well equipped for this.
What's the I thought you only rolled 5 dice total.
You do. Oh, sorry.
5.
You just 5.
That's
I'm sorry.
5d10,
My brain
okay.
always wants to add
Oh,
6.
okay.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Just 5
okay.
dice. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Joe,
Damn.
for
Yeah, but you're right. Roll. Okay, that's
like
3
3.
successes.
But due to navigators, that's 2 progress. So, but yeah, we're just doing a simple roll, not a readout hit. So that is 3 successes. Your voidnaut succeeded dramatically at the task they were attempting. Give us like a brief bit of like, what does the audience see as you fake crash?
Well, we fly out. Well, it looks very dramatic because I think Rusty faked out some little explosion-y thing. So we fly through this, and then suddenly there's this asteroid, and the ember kind of comes closer into contact than is usually advisable and flies past it, and you see an explosion going off. So that must have been a collision, right? And also you can see on the bridge the proximity sensors like going crazy, like no, you know how it was when if you try to park a car and get too close to the other one, and that's the proximity sensor here.
Okay, so as you reach out for some assistance, yeah, this is Outpost 11. I see you're having some trouble. I caught the distress beacon. Just follow the nav points in. Listen, I'm not sure we can offer much in the way of repair. You'll have to do that work yourself. You understand?
Okay.
Here.
Yeah,
Of
but
course,
we need.
We'll be, and we're more than willing to pay for any supplies that we might need. Hey, I'm sorry. This is Janella Jantek of the Ember, and I mean, you're a mining outpost. If you need some entertainment, I'm a pretty decent entertainer. Maybe you've heard of Hearts of the Forest?
Nice. I think that let's see how this goes. Has he heard of Hearts of the Forest? Only the dice will determine us for this.
All right.
I think it's probably in the intrigue relate. Maybe
I feel like it's got to be
carousing?
intrigue. I mean, it's
Yeah,
carousing.
gelling. You're gelling. So you're rolling 5d10, and you've got a Zeltron pheromones. We'll say that works, even though you guys are talking over.
Sure.
You have the passage as well, so good luck. Chances are good here. Hi, asteroid. I saw your note, your name of your roll there, Sabine. That's very funny.
Yeah. So that's
That
4
was
successes.
4 successes. That's amazing.
No, 5 successes.
Oh,
8, 7, 10, 7.
it's 6s or 8, 7,
Isn't
10.
yeah, but the Hollywood celebrity.
How if it's celebrity lets you bounce that to 2. Yes, you're right. Holy crap. I think there's a pause. Did you say Janella Jantek, Star Dancer? Yes, I have all of those movies.
Oh my god, you're a fan?
Absolutely. Like the biggest fan
I
on the
love
station.
meeting fans.
Please follow the snap point. I'll be there to greet you. To make sure that you're taken care of.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
So yeah, then we like pull back and he's sitting there with this like headset on, and we see this like little hollow of Janella from Hearts of the Force that he's got up right by his little command center.
When you mentioned this, Grask will turn around and say, "Wait, Hearts of the Force, you were in that. Is it true that Slas Imur played one of the Jedi? Did you meet him?"
Yeah, obviously we had many scenes together.
Oh, okay. You must
Yeah,
tell me how he is. How's he doing?
Ooh, last I saw them, he was on Jakku.
Oh, okay.
So not great.
Okay.
And so the Ember.
Is anyone ever great when they're on Jakku?
That's a fair point. The Ember, we see the Ember as you're moving around a couple of asteroids, navigating your way to the outpost station. The camera pulls back and we see that there's this, like, not quite a frigate. It's a larger ship that's just sitting out of sensor range in an area that's already been explored by this mining outpost. But it seems to be observing what the group of you is doing. And I think this is the perfect chance for us to take our mid-game bio break. So let's do that. So we pick up with the Ember pulling in, and if you're taking a look at our side view outpost exterior, number 2 is the docking bays. This is actually a mining post. Here, I start to peel back a little bit of a layer. This is from a 1991 Star Wars West End Games module called, surprisingly enough, The Graveyard of Alderaan. And I've remixed it just so you know, because you go read it, you'd be like, what? And what is a what? That makes no sense. But anyway, I think this is cool. You guys fly into area number 2, the docking bays. You see that the outpost itself has some shuttles, and there is a cargo ship that is docked here. So it's pretty tight as you guys come in. But the cargo ship, you can tell, like, you see there are emblems or like logos for this place. If you take a look in our NPCs and places, there's a little emblem to the side for Kathos Loof. That is what you see on the station itself. But the other thing that you notice is that the cargo ship, it is affiliated with probably, but isn't wearing the same, like it isn't the outpost. It's someone has come here to pick up a bunch of stuff to ship off. Hopefully that makes sense. But I'm curious. Here we go. I can actually, well, pick that up. Sure enough, as he had promised, there is an individual who's early 20s, and he is waiting for you guys expectantly. And when he sees you, Janella, his eyes like wide, and he comes up and he says, hello, we spoke over the comms. I'm Raro Inkhouse.
Oh, hey, Roro, it's so wonderful to meet you. And thank you so much for all the help that you're providing us.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge fan. And I'm already in contact with the boss. He's pretty interested in what you said something about entertainment. I know you've had a fabulous singing career.
Singing, dancing. I'm a triple threat.
No doubt. Yeah, absolutely. And then he looks up and up and up at you, Tiny. I assume Rusty, you guys already had the conversation. Rusty will stay on ship, monitor the two sick guys. They don't want to go out into the mining outpost anyway, because they kind of shouldn't be coming back.
Yeah. Real quick, do you want to get a picture?
Would I? Yes, please. He jumps in and poses with you.
Dash does the in my background.
Nice. He's all about it. Very, very excited. And then he glances over at Grask and says, interesting company you keep there, Janella.
Oh, I like to switch things up. Live with the people. I don't want to get too big. Or I don't want to get my ego to get too big. I've got to live. And, that's why I'm very excited to be here and perform with all of you.
Oh, absolutely. We don't exactly have a stage.
That's
per
fine.
se.
I've worked from the lowest cantinas in the back quadrants to it doesn't matter wherever I am. That's the stage.
Right. He smiles and beams and starts leading you past. You see there's a couple of engineers that are working on one of the shuttles. One of them's got a little hydro spanner, and another guy's doing a little bit of spot welding. And he says, I may be able to pull a couple strings for those guys if you need any help repairing your damage. Where did you get hit? He looks back at the ship.
Oh, I'm just mostly a passenger, really. I don't really know. I just know there was a loud scraping noise. Maybe there was an explosion or something. Or at least I heard a lot of cursing from our engineer.
Oh, well. Which one of you is the engineer?
Engineers with the engines.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing what he can.
Your weak way's kind of mouthy.
Well, I mean, he's our pilot. I mean, he's allowed to be.
Oh, you didn't sound that rude on the comms there, buddy.
I'm not rude. I'm just answering your question. If you think that's rude, you haven't met me, right? You can get a lot ruder.
You'll have to forgive him. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty embarrassing to end up in a collision like this, as I'm sure you understand.
You deserve a better pilot.
Well, thank you, but I'm a fan of Grask's.
I'm like a level 3 pilot. So
well, look, I can't go around poaching talent. Poaching. This is a conversation you would need to have with your supervisor. You probably have a contract. I can't get involved in that.
Oh, this place is locked down. Nobody's leaving for a while.
See, there you go.
Well, but I could leave with you.
Okay. We'll talk later. As I just take him by the shoulder and lead him towards the facility.
Okay, he's all about this. Guess I'm gonna leave with Janelle and John Tech, who got 4 successes. So this is the brilliant success that you have with him. Is he now wants to be your pilot, or lackey, something along those lines.
He wants to be or something along those lines.
Something along those lines, exactly. That is all he needs. So we'll kind of skip ahead.
Or is he just so minor? It's Raro Enkos?
Yeah, he's isn't it Mary Allen, the ones that have the
green
I'm about
tattoos?
to throw a pick. Yeah, I'm about to throw a pick in for Roro. I just need to
love your picks.
You know what I do? And
Well, I love
hopefully
them. I
you
love
guys
them
don't.
too.
Okay,
So.
good. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, you don't love
the
pigs?
the problem is, I'm like, oh wait, we left them light years back. So
I know I'm misspelling I guy's name, but anyway, comms.
I mean, you made it up. So how can you spell it?
No, not his name. The species.
Oh,
Mirialan?
all right. Yeah, there's an extra I, apparently. At least in the row below, there's an extra I. Miri L.
With that?
Yeah, that's what
All
it
right.
says under Solari. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I probably could have looked at it because I forgot that Solari's on there. Sweet. Thank you. So we
Yeah. And
Oh.
I say to Tiny when they're gone, I look at Tiny and say, if you want to punch someone, I got a suggestion.
Ooh. Tiny kind of perks up.
Nah, I just don't like that guy. I don't like being called that weak way. Yeah.
And
That's not.
I think whenever Raro said, "Where's the damage?" or something like that, Tiny kind of waits until Janella and Raro kind of head off, and then walks over and like pulls off one of the paneling from the outside of the ship, like rip, and it's now exposed and all of that, and then kind of throws it off to the side.
nice.
I mean, there was a little kind of soot or something because there was an explosion, right? So there are at least some traces of that.
I mean, you did
And-
hit something. So.
I did not hit something. We just rigged the explosion. I did not hit the asteroid.
Oh, I thought you
I-
like purposely scraped it.
No, you just heard that. That you just imagined that because I'm
What?
that good.
You're that good at pilot.
Yeah, I am.
Grask is that good.
Yeah, well,
You guys entered at area 24 in the hangar repair station. And as you see those like little turbo lifts, which are the dots. So Roro leads you to the dot just to the left of 18 and takes you to the middle level. And all the while, he's like standing really close to you, Janelle, and he says, so on the middle level of the mining outpost, there is a lounge which has some really great holovid entertainment, a number of your selections. There's also the rec room, which is larger, but yeah, again, there's also like a Sabbath table. We'd have to move some stuff out of the way. So I'm not sure where you want to perform. I can let you take a look at both if you want.
Well, that's very sweet of you, but we should really talk with your commander about where he thinks is best, so we don't disrupt, day-to-day operations too much.
Sure, yeah.
And also, like, need to negotiate like parts that we might need.
Right. Of course, that makes sense. I mean, because you probably want to leave. Who wants to stay here, right?
Oh, and like obviously we don't. As much fun as I love hanging out with my fans. I mean, you're running an operation, and I'm sure you don't need just some random interlopers here.
Well, I mean, you're not random. You're
Yeah.
Jilla. So, well, there's that. So his plan is he heard what you're saying, but he still wants to show off the lounge in the rec room.
He can take me for the tour. I presumably Grask and Tiny can follow later, right? Like,
It kind of feels like Grask and Tiny could probably slip away from this guy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
do
They've got,
other
like,
things
free
that they
reign, right?
wanted.
Yeah.
So,
I figured out that I actually can do a discreet hack.
Oh,
yeah,
Big-
that's a thing that's written on the thing.
Yeah, that's written on a thing.
thing
That's
that
written
on the
a
thing,
and
so it's
and
official.
I've gotten not too few dice with that. So yeah, and I've also got the passage because I guess I was a conscripted pilot and I know systems things because as a conscripted pilot you obviously need to know how to hack because and if you remember where I was conscripted as a pilot, you know why I need to know that.
Yeah, and the
Plus, there's
ascent of
always
the
talent.
universe.
Plus, there's always talents. So
Yeah, you are loaded for bear for this. So is this a thing where are you going to try to get to a computer bank? Do you think you're trying to do it straight from a turbo lift?
No, I mean, come on, turbo lift means that people will step in, step out. That's not discreet.
Yeah.
I'll go, maybe stay in the hangar with the ship and
Okay.
just look at stuff like what can we do here? What are the security things? And then while I'm checking what the security requirements here are, I might also check where that damn palace is.
Nice. Cool. So
Just
give
looking
me
for tourist sites, basically.
sounds awesome. Give me a discrete hack. You're rolling
Yeah.
with focus, which means you've got 4d10,
Mhm.
1d6. I will remember this one of these days.
Okay. Okay, let's see how that goes. Oh, well, let's see. Yeah, well,
That is 5
okay.
successes.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they use the same software that they used, the Alliance used back in the day.
Yeah, it's absolutely. That's how they got the contracting.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
buttered up old
That's-
Princess Leia with we will help to recover all the treasures of Alderaan for you shtick. And hey, look, we even use the same stuff. So that is a full success. Absolutely flying colors and then some. I'll tell you a bit of what you find out. And if you want to ask some questions, you can. Does that sound fair? All right. So the first thing that you find is the location of a particular area of note that is like, it's obvious that someone has coded over what it is, but the designation, and I'll type it into chat, is asteroid 7785. Which is the last place that the team led by Zaz Cameron, where he had headed. So you're able to piece together that even though they wrote over any of the notes, that asteroid 7785 is the area that is probably the palace of Alderaan. You also see that the order from I'm also trying to make sure I get the names right. Kathos Loof, the head administrator of Outpost 11, putting out an all call to people through the comms that at this point we're locking down. And he actually claims that there is a containment issue. Nice and generic. And you also see that there are a few encoded messages that came out on his signal to outside, like using holovid, but going to outside of the normal communications array.
Can I figure out if these outside communications are with different people?
It appears that it was first a communication with a board, a salvager board.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a follow-up set of communications with a woman by the name of Belinda Vogue. And I will throw that name again in our character keeper.
Okay. Interesting. But no communication with the Bounty Hunters Guild.
That is a great question. There is not a communication with a Bounty Hunters Guild.
Okay.
There is a communication with an assassins cooperative, it's basically an assassins board. Yeah.
Assassins Associated.
Yeah.
And if you go
AA.
if you go to an AA meeting in Star Wars, it has a very different meaning.
Very different meaning. Yes. I like that. That is now our canon. Cool. Does that feel like a super wonderful success?
That seems like a very super wonderful success, and I will be content with this. I have the coordinates for the asteroid and some names, and then I'm happy, and well, I'm happy-ish.
I was about to say, this is
I'm
Grask, so
Grask.
are you
This is
really happy?
Nah. At least this ship doesn't have paintings all over it. So.
Not yet.
I think Tiny kind of looms over you while you're working at the computer, and sees some of the information that you have, and says, when are we going to go?
Well, let's wait until we get Janella back, right? I mean, she probably, if we were going to a palace, we should have some kind of royalty person with us. I'm sure she's a princess or something. Are you some royalty or something, Tiny?
No.
Sure.
No.
Okay, then it could be, right?
Maybe.
Okay. And always remember that you could be royalty, and that sometimes comes in handy.
I like the sound of that. Maybe I'm a prince.
Yeah, maybe
Prince
you are.
Sonnen.
Prince Sonnen. Well, that has got a nice ring to it. Okay.
Assassin's Co-op. I like the hippies. Cool. So Grask and Tiny, the two of you are able to procure the information that you need. Janella, you head in to the lounge and the rec room, and you see they've got in there like a Jajaric table, but it's seen some better days. It's probably a reconditioned version.
It is a mining outpost. I am not expecting much.
But there are a lot of miners here.
Yeah.
And while not all of them have seen your shows, they all can appreciate a Zeltron. So there are a lot of appreciative smiles and excitement around your arrival by the team that's currently in their off shift. Navarro Incals introduces you as Janella Gentek and then lists a few of your movies, and kind of indicates that maybe the outpost has like brought you in as entertainment. Yeah, they all like, he claims that
I am not going to correct them, because look, if it makes Cartho Loof look better to the miners, that makes my negotiation easier with him.
Yeah, I think that is a true statement, and there is a good bit of happy vibes amongst the crew. But it's not long before there's a guy who comes in. A few of the guys, like, they bristle a bit as this person comes in, and you see Raro when he sees him, because this is Kathlos Loof, Mr. Loof, this is Janella Gentek, and you see there's a guy, maybe in his late 40s, 50s, human. He looks tired, but also a little leery of you at first. Like maybe his coincidence-o-meter or his coincidence perception is a little higher than this young ensign here. He offers you a handshake. Gentek, yeah, you're an actress.
I'm actress, entertainer, wanderer.
What?
I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but
What brings you to the graveyard?
Well,
why are
we
you
had
traveling out here?
We had an accident while traveling, so we had to drop out of hyperspace, and this apparently was the closest outpost. So,
well, welcome. Where's the rest of your crew? He
Well,
looks
they're-
around, and that's when Raro looks around like, oh shit, where is the rest of the crew?
I think they hung back to like get a read on all the damage to, so they could give you a list of anything supplies that you might be able to help that we might be able to purchase off you, because we know that your men are all very busy. We don't want to like interfere in your day-to-day activities and your duties, and like we can do the repairs ourselves, and so we want, like, I'm here to negotiate fair trade, and as you may have heard, like, I'm more than happy to get provide entertainment for the crew
And
while,
that's
while
when
my crew is fixing.
Raro throws in, I already told some of the guys, especially he lists a couple of names, that you authorized this, sir. I thought it would go well for the lockdown if people had something to do. And I still, even though
it would be a really good morale boost, especially like, if it comes down that you actively, requested this.
I think you're gelling here with him, trying to. Does that feel all right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's an intrigue no matter what. So
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere in intrigue. If you think a different tactic
I will gladly roll 5d10, sure.
I mean, if you think there's something that better applies.
No, I'm okay with that.
Of course you are.
I mean, look, if we are negotiating, it's technically Snoop. But I don't know.
That's
Are we
true.
negotiating? That's your call. You are the GM.
Oh, you are negotiating.
But it's also, it could be psychology as I'm trying to read him.
Okay. Well, what's most important? You tell me the tactic.
I
that
think
you're using
actually,
to
like, since
approach.
I already rolled gel, I want to try the psychology.
Okay.
Because I also got those 3 things in it. So
Okay.
I forget what they
fine.
all do. Voidnetics. Okay. What is the voidnetics? Voidnetics are confusing.
They're basically your feats if you think in the D&D
Oh,
term.
okay. The voidnetic only reduces danger of 2 allies instead of 1. So that probably does not matter. But all right, yeah, psychology. I'm trying to read them.
Okay.
So that's 3d10, 2d6.
All right. Good luck.
Well, there's a 9 and a 10 and
Okay.
a 1. But
So
the 1
because your
becomes
passage,
a success.
yeah, because your break, the 1 becomes a success. Because of
Mm.
your passage, the 10 becomes 2 successes.
Yep. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
For some reason I read the 6 as a
1,
5 as a
9,
6,
10,
and
10.
my brain
Yeah.
got messed up.
Sorry. And
He
yeah.
says, well, my young administrator here is right. We would be more than happy for you to entertain the mining crews. They've been working hard.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's an odd time that you've
Yeah.
arrived, I have to say.
sorry to hear that. I mean, you look a little tense. Do you need? I mean, I'm also a skilled masseuse, so like after I perform for the crew, I could, hopefully ease some tension in your muscles.
And he's
Heavy as the
very
head that wears
tempted.
the crown.
four successes. He's very tempted by this. No, so with psychology, are you trying to, like, are there any questions that you have?
I mean, it's mostly like the psychology I tied in with the empathy of the Zeltron. So like I'm
Absolutely.
like getting a read on his tensions and whatnot. And you said he looks tired. So like
Yeah.
reading off of that, I'm like, you're dealing with a lot of pressure. So let me help you with that
Cool.
while I distract you from my friends hacking your system and then putting on a show of making repairs.
So he allows this to take place. He's interested in a massage would be interesting. I've never hung out with a Zeltron kind of thing. He's tired enough to where he lets slip just the fascination with a Zeltron.
But
But
not all like that.
not. You're not. That's why he's fascinated though, because he's heard the rumors. So he's gonna get you to perform. Like he wants to get to the other part after the performance.
Oh, sure. And like that's when like she'd really try to like dig in to get him to like, all right, I mean, you guys are on lockdown. Why are you on? That's when she's like, well, she's getting him relaxed and massaging. That's when she's really trying to like get more information out.
Oh, that's when you dig in. Okay, that's pretty great. Let's cut back to so Janella does like a quick performance, greet the troops, kind of OSO or
USO.
USO. I knew I was like screwing up that acronym. USO type deal, and then when we pick back up, Janella is at the private quarters of Kathos Loof. But let's see, Tiny and Grask, you've got the data that you want. And Janella hasn't come back at this point. You could boogie out of here if she wasn't gone. She's very thorough, it seems.
That's good, but because I want to figure out what kind of stuff has this station that could. I mean, do they have a tractor beam, right? And do they have? You said they have a shuttle. Maybe we can sabotage the shuttle.
Oh, they have several shuttles, and they have 3 total shuttles, and then there's a cargo ship. The cargo ship has a crew that is eager to get the hell out of here. Maybe they kind of came over and said, hey, worst place to land, right? You're not getting out of here.
How do you mean we're not getting out of here?
Oh, the administrator's got a bug up his butt. He's not letting anybody leave. We've been sitting here for 3 days. We're fully stocked and loaded. We got to get out of here. This stuff doesn't sell itself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but where are you mining even? Like, I don't know, kind of rhydonium or whatever.
Oh, he lists off a number of ores that have been processed from the planet. He says it's Alderaan was a very rich planet, very rich.
Yeah, heard that. Well, you didn't never let me on that planet, so.
It says, what are you doing traveling around with a giganton or whatever?
It's not a giganton. That's what was your name? That's Prince Solon.
Gregorian, yeah. Prince
That's
Solon.
Prince
That's
Solon.
right.
It's Prince Solon. He's a Gregorian nobility stuff thing, right?
I think Tiny kind of looks all kind of surprised and then excited, and he was like, "Yeah." And I think that he starts looking around and he's like, What exactly is keeping you here? Why can't you just leave?
We got contracts, and there's a rider that if the administrator says there's a containment breach, then we've got to stick around for a week, and it's only been a couple of days. You know how it is. Maybe you don't. Listen, we've got a contract, and we could skate out of here, but then we can't come back. And I got to tell you, this stuff, well, it's good. It's a good job.
So all you have to do is get the administrator to say that the containment is over, right?
Yeah, that's it. But he is sitting tight. It's something suspicious, Just doesn't smell right to me.
Yeah, well, if her ladyship up there wants to go, we'll go. So nobody's containing Janella Gentech.
I don't know that person. Were they royalty too?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about royalty. She's kind of the Hearts of the Forest star. You've heard of that? It's a show.
Nah, I don't really have time for that kind of stuff. I got work to do.
Oh yeah. You have time now. I mean, I've got some copies.
Kirk
If you,
telling me what he's like. What you just walk around with this girl's shows? Is that how people watch it? Is you guys?
no,
Oh no, she hires us so that we can, carry things around and stuff. And
You're some kind of prince, but you're what? Prince of baggage?
I'm traveling with someone famous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know much about that.
Since you've got the time, we've got some copies of the Hearts of the Force shows. So if you want to buy them,
Buy them? No, I thought you were gonna make me watch it.
hey, I'm not the charity here.
Yeah, well,
This is
you're not a salesman either. I could give a
What?
rat's ass.
Okay, if you just want to sit there and watch your feet, that's fine by me.
I think there'll be a moment when one of the crew members kind of pokes their head out of, "Hey, no, man, I'm interested.
No, see,
Don't worry about him." It's like, "Oh, y'all can go spit. I don't care." He lumbers back into grouse about all the losses of his profits that are happening because of this terrible administrator.
So Tiny, I think, says it sounds like all these people could leave and want to leave very quickly if we could only get authorization. Do you think you could fix that in the computer?
I
So,
mean,
that would be a great distraction as
Oh,
we
yeah.
head off to asteroid 7785.
yeah, that's a good point. But I think we should maybe have Janelle back here before we start with that, because we could leave her here, but
Oh, I agree. We shouldn't leave her behind. I mean, that would be
no,
big trouble.
no,
But,
no.
you know-
She's good. She's a good investment.
It's just the plan is, whenever she gets back.
Yeah. You're
can-
right. You're right. It's a good point. It's a good plan. Prince Sonnen. And I kind of bump you on the lower arm. I'm not that tall. And it's very playful. So I'm like, it's not, I'm very careful. I don't want to hurt you because you might hurt me back.
It's true. He might do that, and he would hurt you more than you would hurt him.
That's that's what blasters are for. But I don't want to shoot him. That's and I like him. He's good. He's a good kid.
He's your ward, so of course you don't want to shoot him. Awesome.
Yeah. So, but I can't start preparing for this, right? So that I just have to push some button and say, "Oh, hey guys, I've just heard." Only, well, no, they need to notice that themselves, right? Yeah. Oh, maybe we can do a little message or.
Does it seem fair to say that that's a separate hack? Like first you're
Yeah.
just trying to get
Yes,
information, now you're trying to
yes.
rewrite some stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the separate.
Cool. And you got to
discrete-
slice past and override that,
Yeah.
Well, not say it's biometrics. I don't think it's that advanced, but yeah, let's see you do that. Boy, I really wish there was a help role in this game because you guys like helping and I like helping
Yeah.
roles.
Yeah. And I feel like Tiny has been helping a lot. But,
Absolutely. I'm gonna
so,
think about that.
yeah,
Like
okay.
maybe like you sacrifice some fatigue to give somebody
Give a bonus
break.
die? I don't.
I don't know. Like
I
to
just-
me, to stay within the system as I understand it, the idea of somebody giving up fatigue to give someone a temporary break on a roll could be pretty cool. But then it only applies like on half, because like, well, not half, a little, not all of them, because you guys have lots of breaks. Anyway, let's go ahead and have you build that roll and
Okay,
do the
I'm
hack.
rolling. Let's see how that goes. Well, it's still 3 successes, I guess, and I also got the thing. Yeah, where a 10 is a double success. I don't roll 10, so it's fine.
Cool.
And
3 successes.
I think 3 successes, okay, right?
That's pretty good.
I have a question with the relationship triggers.
Absolutely. What's
So,
your
like,
question?
Grask already got Grask is my rival, has gotten
Mm-hmm.
3 successes multiple times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But can a relationship only be invoked once?
So a relationship is invoked and then it just sits there as invoked until you use the Benny, which is 5 automatic successes. Don't have to roll, so it stays invoked.
Okay.
Doesn't become double invoked. So I see that you did the little black bar. You could just check the box, and that way you know it's
I wasn't
been invoked.
sure.
No, that's a great question, and that's the thing I should.
And then once you use it, you uncheck it.
Correct.
Do you have to wait for them to trigger it again?
Yes.
Okay. So them having done this twice in a row is like, I missed my chance to just get the 5
Exactly.
success.
You should have just 5 successes something.
Because I also ask because I'm a curiosity for both of them. So I need to trigger this before they can check me. Stupid curiosity's dumb.
Invokes a relationship.
All right. So.
Right.
Cool.
All right. Because Rusty's my comrade, I could invoke this, but yeah, I wait till Jason. Well, that's the last session, but still, I wait.
Oh yeah. Things got a little hooey with schedules. I apologize for that, but I'll be here for all 4 of them, so I don't apologize a whole lot. Just a little. It's all good. Sweet. So let's pick up with Janella Gentech, and you are currently in the, if we go in the mining outpost, I believe it is down on the lower levels, number 20, the command quarters, apartment used by Loof and his 3 shift officers. Among those 3 shift officers is Raro Inkaus, who he has escorted away or told to go work on a thing. So it's just the 2 of you at the command quarters. It's nice for a mining outpost, but nothing like what you're used to.
Of course. Look, I started off on Jakku, so I've been to the bottom.
You start off on Tattoo. I guess maybe. Yeah.
There was the prequel.
Cool. Darn those prequels.
Yeah, it was a prequel. You didn't run it. I think it was
canon. Who knows?
It was Star Wars Saturday.
Okay.
It was the whole December thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, but yeah, so like, I'm like, trying to ease him out, like ask him questions. What's up with the, trying to,
Nice. And he'll say, because I'm kind of flowing through with the multiple
look,
successes.
I'm going to use I'm just gonna use this relationship to get 5 successes on.
There we go.
Interrogating.
Awesome. So you use 5 successes on interrogating, which is perfect. And he just
What's the deal
in the brief time that you guys have together, he makes that impulsive choice that he says, listen, I've come into something really unexpected. Listen, Janella, you're an actress. I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few extra credits. So I'll let you in on this and we'll work. Maybe we'll be partners. But a crew of mine, they found something, they found, well, you may not even believe me, but the Palace of Alderaan. I'm waiting for a few salvaging crews to come in because they're going to pay me lots and lots of credits to get access to that palace. Who even knows what treasures are there? You should stay here with me, and once I get paid, we can leave this outpost, go to Coruscant. Hell, we could go all the way to Zeltron if you want. Would you like to go back home? Is that what you'd like, Janella?
Well, I don't really remember it, but that's very, very kind of you to offer.
Yeah, well, not only are they paying me up front, I get a percentage of the take from a Karking Palace. You can't imagine how many credits this is going to get from a destroyed world. not to sound like a vulture, but hundreds of thousands of credits will be mine. It could be yours too, Janela.
I'm very happy for you. But I love to entertain. I love traveling.
We can do both. You've already got
Ah.
a ship. How about I just leave on your ship after this is all done? I'll pay for the ship. Hell, I could buy the ship.
Look, let's just enjoy the time that we have together. Just relax and trust in me.
And of course, he will relax and trust in you.
Yep. And then, he falls asleep. I leave.
You don't like Vulcan neck pinch him and knock him out? You
No,
just let him go
why
to
would I
sleep?
need to do that? Like, I'm very good at my job, and I rolled 5 successes.
You obtained 5 successes. You
Yeah.
bought 5 successes.
So the other 2, you can check off the curiosity thing.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, okay. And get back to the ship, obviously. All right, so the station manager confirms everything. So we need to go as soon as possible while he's unconscious. Because he's going to be resting quite unfitfully.
Well, I think we have Tiny here had a very good idea. And we can just push that button. And then everybody will get the permission to leave the station, which they really, really want to do. So, and then we go. We know where the asteroid is. So, yeah.
All right.
Right.
Okay. Tiny, you want to push the button? Do the honors.
Tiny's big ham-handed fist comes down, like he's going to push the button, and it's like all this fur's kind of around it. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So, just to double check, we did the hack, right?
Mhm.
That's where you got your successes.
3 successes.
So yeah, all of a sudden there's a message that comes through the systems. It's not like a loudspeaker thing, so it doesn't even wake up the administrator. And that cargo ship, the guy who kind of insulted Janela's stuff, we were like, all right, smell you later. He starts pulling that cargo ship and getting the hell out of there. They're pretty excited to get out, and then the Ember can take off after that. How are you dealing with Roro? Because he's going to know you're leaving and be very
mean-
upset and want to come with you.
I can't. You have a contract. Look, remember he was already kicked out of the command room. I left. Like, I just avoid him.
You just duck him. All right.
Or like
He's
if
gonna-
he patches in, I'm like, I'm sorry. No, you have a contract.
I'll give up my contract to be your roadie.
You know you can't do that. Things are there's a lockdown.
This is the worst.
Look. Listen to me, Raro.
Janela, I
You-
love
Do you think I could live with someone that broke a contract like that?
So if I finish the contract, you'll have me?
Totally. Of course.
Pulls out a little calendar and he starts marking off the days.
And I will interject in here and say, hey, is the Miriam finished jamming up our comm system? Janela?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, goodbye.
Mhm. All right. Thanks. Bye. Click.
Click. So let me break for a moment to let you guys know that in the original module, Graveyard of Alderaan, which I have remixed the crap out of, and we'll talk about it later. It's not that big a deal, but I did want to share this with you because it amuses me. In this 1991 module, there was
What?
an actual game board, and they came up with a whole subsystem for the asteroid run to go from the mining outpost to asteroid 7785. It was this weird little convoluted thing. And you had these game pieces you were supposed to like cut out of your actual module, because it's 1990s. It's not like, I mean, I guess you could have taken it to Kinko's and, you know, made copies of it, but you were supposed to roll and asteroids would just show up here based off of the rolls that you got, and everybody had to make like space piloting rolls, and there's a whole like appearance examples of asteroids, and you had to move all the asteroid pieces each round. It's crazy. Like,
You know,
a whole thing.
you know, back in the 80s, of course, we would have like traced the little pieces on a piece of paper and cut them out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the tracing paper. I used to have a whole pad of tracing paper just for that.
Graph paper maze that you have to. No, thank you.
Yeah. So that was the thing. There's actually some real cool art in this game, in this module as well. But the picture that I dropped in of Belinda Vogue is from the module for the NPC Belinda Vogue, who is described thusly. This amuses me, so I'm going to make you listen to it and then I'll stop. But Belinda Vogue is a human female in her late 20s or early 30s. She's pretty in an exotic way, enhanced by a wild haircut and a tough, no-nonsense demeanor. She looks ready for anything, as her jumpsuit is filled with all types of gear. Belinda Vogue. Sorry, it just tickles me.
Exotic? How?
I was like, I don't even know. I think because they drew her to not look like yet another white guy in this module, which is a shocker. There's just not a whole lot of diversity in West Indian products, friends. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
to say.
her hair is clearly so wild.
I know. Like,
Versus,
what are you writing this about? Because this character's hair is very.
This is from the
straight.
90s.
1991.
Come
It's
on.
not unclear on the
Captain America
exotic
comics
part.
had Diamondback with the side shave. Getting the
Ooh.
gear West End games.
Oh yeah.
Dang it,
I
Western
mean-
Games.
Come on, there are aliens, of course, in the 1991s. We didn't probably think about alien women, Twi'leks maybe, but yeah, I get it. Okay, I'm silent now.
Sorry, I didn't want to like drag you guys into my gentle.
That's fine. That's fine.
My
It's
gentle
fun.
corrections
It's
for
fine.
Western Games, because they
It's
know.
fun to make fun of old games.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
I
they're
do still think there's some pretty cool bits. in here.
unoriginality at times.
The bizarreness of there being a graveyard of Alderaan, the idea that like that Princess Leia will be like, oh, I have the New Republic. Yeah, sure. I'll let some mining outposts come into my old home and just mine it for ore. But
What else are you gonna do with it?
exactly,
So-
it's like, yeah, I think exactly. It's like, what do you do?
Oh, my dad might be there. Nah.
Right. My dad might be there. It's like, oh, this is good. So
Anyway,
I adore the weirdness of this module, and there's so much weirdness about to happen that it's not going to happen. So it's all good. Sweet. So you guys take off out of mining outpost 11, and while there is not this complex asteroid square by square game that's going to happen, there is another ship that, as you guys are taking off and heading towards asteroid 7785, of course, you're heading through an asteroid field. So going through the asteroid field itself is a thing where you don't want to go fast.
What?
The
Why?
odds of surviving this kind of encounter are very bad. We don't have a protocol droid to list out those odds, but you
Never
can
tell me the odds.
Another ship, a quite large ship, and quite large in comparison to the Ember. The Ember is a freighter, a medium class freighter. This is probably a large class freighter to a frigate size ship. You, Grask, realize based off maybe it's Janella, because you're the sensor tech we determined, you realize that you're being trailed by this frigate. It hasn't opened up fire on you, but
Okay, like,
you're going, if you don't do something, you're going to lead it right to asteroid 7785.
I'm going to do something. There are some larger asteroids around here, right?
Sure there are.
And I mean, it's a frigate, so they won't probably care about the smaller ones. The shields will take care of them. But the larger ones, they still want to avoid. So let's find a route that will allow us with our smaller ship to get through it faster, but will really put a kind of a crimp into their flight routes.
Okay. So let's, and I'm going to screen share just to make sure we're on the same page here, but we are going to try a structured scene known as Evasion. I added in pursuit because I thought it might come in handy, but it's fine. We're just doing evasion. You're trying to evade these folks. So the evasion actually is one of these setups. So once you're in the structured scene, your tactics are rush, sneak, fade, and deny. They work similarly to the tactics in combat in that rush allows you to add 3 to the reticle, plus 1 per success roll, but adds 3 danger to yourself. Sneak allows you to go basically 1 for 1. Fade, you can reduce your own danger by staying still and out of sight. And then deny reduces an ally's, it helps somebody else. It reduces an ally's danger. Those are the tactics available to each of you. You need to kind of describe it in the terms of your particular role on the ship. And as a reminder, we have a pilot, gunner, shields engineer, and chief engineer. So Grask, obviously the pilot, because you're piloting. Tiny, which role do you feel like you're going to be using here in this encounter?
I think I'm the gunner.
And then Janella Gentech, which engineer are you? A shields or a chief engineer?
Shield, probably, I guess. That's like the nav computer stuff, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Shields engineer focuses ship's shields to absorb incoming volleys, inflict ramming damage on fighters doing close flybys. We'll also say that you can do nav computer stuff to help out.
I learned some of that in Star Fury Academy.
We did. You did literally learn some of that. Star Fury. So after a reread of the rules, I realized that I get to lead off the encounter by giving danger to someone. And I think it's coming to our pilot because you're about to do a thing. So I'm going to give you, Grask, 3 danger right off the top. Boom.
Okay.
You get 3
like...
danger. Now, as we proceed through the evasion, there are these nav points that you guys will be going through, if that makes sense. The start now is you start at outpost 11. And you've already started, so that's the thing you're doing. But
so do we want to get to 9 danger? I don't.
No, danger's bad for you.
Okay.
No.
You don't want to get to danger.
The start.
Yeah, you basically want to. You either want to get through the reticle enough to where you've achieved more hits than the challenge has to offer. While doing so, you navigate through nav points. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
And we got to fill up the reticle, right?
Yeah, you got to fill up the reticle with hits.
Cool.
That's your primary objective. Fill up the reticle with hits.
Okay.
So, Grask, you are in danger because this ship, this frigate, is following you guys.
So what's a filled hit mean?
Yeah, that part I copied over from the video thing. I'm not sure what.
All right, then.
Means.
So ignore the tracker under 1 through 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mostly just
I'm like, what is that? That's why I thought, is that where we start? 9 is when we escape? I don't know.
Yeah, though that does look like that. It's what it's trying to communicate, but that's not actually.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So what can I do now?
You can
pilot away
hit
with
any of
ship.
those evasion tactics.
Okay.
Try to.
But I have to use evasion, right? I can't use actual piloting.
It is a structured scene, therefore, you've got to use these.
Okay. I will use rush though, because I mean that's what I'm best at, and I feel that sprinting might be what I'm doing for.
Maybe you're sprinting towards an asteroid, so you can still pull off that thing that you
put some distance between us and these guys. I don't. I feel like their frigate, they're gonna have a tractor beam. And that's
Awesome.
not-
So we're going to put that as our first nav point. Asteroid.
Okay. Cool. So that means that, and the breaks are for the entire rush, right? Or is it just for
breaks
the
are for the
demolition?
entire. Hold on,
Okay,
hold on.
okay.
I'm now jumping over to
Cool.
voidnauts to make sure I read. I believe your breaks should be applied to entire rush. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm rolling.
Okay.
Oh, but not with that. See how that goes. Okay, that's not great. That's 2 successes. And 1 is taken away, so it's 1 success still.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 success is 1 hit.
But I also got that's a 10. I can use, I can use a talent, right? I will
You
do
can
that.
absolutely use a talent.
I have spatial sympathy, which means that I'm very aware of my surroundings. and
Perfect. So
That,
using a talent increases your fatigue by 3. Fatigue
Mhm.
is to the left there. You're already
Mhm.
clicking on it.
Yeah.
I think I hear. So thank you for
Mhm.
that. And then it adds 3 on top. So 3 more successes. You go from
Yep.
1 success to 4 successes. That went from middling to pretty great. You're now at 4 total ticks on the evasion pursuit reticle.
see.
In
Also adds 3
Yeah.
danger.
Yes, it does add 3 danger. So
Nice.
you're now up to 6 danger.
Ooh.
That's scary. When you get to 10 danger,
Mhm.
you've got a couple of options. Anything after 10 danger means that I can really, really hurt your character, like potentially take you out of the scene, which, as a
Mhm.
reminder, Sabine, you're not here next week. So,
Mhm.
hey, let's juice up your danger. The other choice that you have, though, and I'm just mostly doing this so that we learn a little bit of the cool system, is if you go back to the voidnauts tab, to the right of call sign Grask and the background and identifiers, you see this little icon of a little flying bird thingy. And there's a checkbox there. This is what the game calls it, the Phoenix Protocol. It's a Deus Ex Machina storytelling device. If you end a round with 10 plus danger, you can check that box and something happens, we talk it out. But what the Phoenix Protocol does is it takes you from 10 plus danger to 0 danger. And it's a Deus Ex Machina thing, like something came in and saved your bacon, and now you're back to the start for danger. However, that Phoenix Protocol is a checkbox that you have to go into. Like, you got to be done with the mission before you can uncheck it. You got to go actual on a furlough, and
once
relax and all that stuff
in a long while.
Right. Once after, basically sometime in October, your character will go on a furlough. Because
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
And I think we cleared the one up last week, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So she rolled rush, right? So no matter what, you add 3 to the reticle, right?
On rush, if you do rush, then yeah, you add 3 to the reticle before you even roll.
Okay. Then 1 per success rolled.
Correct.
Talents do not count as rolled, right?
That is a great question. It will count.
Okay, so it'd be 3 additional.
Yes, it should be 3 more. Thank you. I've forgotten that the rush technique does.
I remember last time
more.
I asked, but I rolled the 1 per success rolled,
3.
and that was even less confusing, or more confusing. I don't know. Now that we know talents count, all right. And the other question is, does completing this mean we've avoided them or gotten to the target?
So what completing this means is you've gotten to the first nav point.
No, I mean, like, once we complete this reticle,
once the evasion structure
the goal
scene
is to
over,
avoid, like, lose them, not
is to lose them
okay.
and get to asteroid 7785. You're either going to fail at this, which means that a bunch of dangers got knocked crazy wackadoodle, and we end the game on a cliffhanger of are you alive, or we end the game with you avoiding these guys and arriving at 7785.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
Good. I appreciate the
Thank you.
questions. It helps me to kind of clarify stuff. So awesome. So that was great. Because of the rush, you did increase your danger a lot, but man, you've already gotten 7 ticks, which when you move past the first hit. I think what we see is that the frigate isn't as agile, and maybe the pilot isn't as good as you, and it clips that asteroid and takes some damage. We see that one of its turret guns is actually mashed in by that thing. But I'm curious what Tiny is up to.
Third question, real quick.
Oh, okay. Before Tiny.
Grask using their talent to get 4 successes. Does that count as a relationship trigger?
It's successes, so yes, it should.
Okay, gotcha.
Which means that you re-invoked your rival. Rival's a good one to have. Cool. So, Tiny.
So I think is this ship, do you guys think that this ship is aware that we know that they're following us because we're trying to take evasive maneuvers? Grask, are you trying to make this look subtle, or do they know that we're evading them?
I mean, this is an asteroid field, right? We're flying into the. I'm not trying to make this especially subtle, but I'm also not precisely trying to antagonize them. You can do that. That's all yours.
Okay. So I think Tiny would either be. So he doesn't think our tiny little guns are going to be able to take out this other ship, but I could potentially make sure that the asteroids push them in the right direction so that they can harass the ship. So I think this would be me either I'm dropping depth charges or me firing something to push. I assume we don't have a tractor beam, but something to push the asteroids towards the ship that's following us.
Oh, nice. So you're not firing directly at the ship. You're kind of bank shotting, like in billiards. You're like bank shotting a few asteroids to knock it at the frigate in a way.
Yeah. So I think it's
wild.
Shoot at this side so that pieces of it kind of break off, but the big portion or some small portion kind of comes over that would threaten that ship.
We like cut to this like little triangle, and there's a bunch of asteroids flying towards it. And you're like pew pew pew, and it breaks into larger things, and it slams into the frigate. Sorry, that was a joke about the video game asteroids. Go ahead, please,
Yep.
Steve Watkins.
So what would that be? Is that so under evasion? Would that be deny?
Ooh,
because it's a distraction, or it could be rush because it's demolitions.
it
think
could
it should
certainly
be-
be rush. Sorry.
Yeah. If you look at what these things do in the fiction, like deny, reduce an ally's danger by alerting them to trouble or pulling attention away from them, it's probably not what you're doing.
Right. So what am I doing as far as the evasion?
I have an unhelpful question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. In ship stuff like this, should it just be one danger track for the entire ship?
That's a really interesting question. None of the tracks are designed in that way.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured, but I'm like,
No, I mean, there's definitely a logic to that. And there's also a really interesting amount of pressure.
yeah, because then like the reducing danger is much more important.
Right.
I think.
Yep.
Okay, so this is probably rush because, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I'm going to add the 3. That takes you up to your second hit.
Yeah, I think rush makes a lot of sense because you're firing things, so you could give away location.
Yep.
And rush, I have 4 dice. Whoops.
And I'm adding 3 danger to you right now.
Okay. And I'm going to roll this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Okay. Wow. I hope you have a break in rush. It appears you do.
I do.
And
You have to use an
voidnetics.
adrenaline injector.
You got a voidnetics thing too.
Yeah, rush adds 2 progress per success instead of just 1. Ooh, that's awesome. So you got a break. So one of those botches becomes a success.
Okay.
You do not have a passage, so that 10 is just 1. So you have a total of 2 successes, but that's 4 ticks on the evasion pursuit because of your voidnetic.
Doesn't the second one take away?
Yeah, because it says it
Oh,
does
it
not
does.
apply to
Yeah.
the +3 inherent to rush. What does that mean?
So rush, it's talking about the rush, make quick and add 3 to the reticle. That's not successes. It's just because you're doing that move, you automatically add to the reticle. And you're right. It actually ends up being 1 success after the 1. Thank you. So
Okay.
it's 2 ticks on the clock, but you already moved 3. So you actually move 5 along the evasion reticle.
I like the idea that this looks a little bit more dramatic. So after the
Yes.
roll, I can invoke a relationship, right?
You can.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to invoke this, and I'm going to invoke the.
Doesn't
do you
it
wanna
say
use it?
instead of rolling? You invoke
It's sorry.
relationship?
It's sorry. It's invoking a relationship is instead of rolling. Sorry,
Oh,
I
okay.
thought you meant can you
Talents
check the
you
box?
can use
I
after
misunderstood.
Talents you
roll.
can do afterward. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, the
talents
talents
you can
give
do
you
afterwards.
3.
Yes. Do you want to invoke as talent?
Yeah, I think I'll invoke a talent, just to make this look better. And would that be? I think this is senses. This is heightened senses, where I have a better idea. What we see on screen is we see this, shot kind of go out, and it kind of hits the asteroid, and we don't see much else. It doesn't move it much.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see, a tiny little thing that we didn't really notice before, but it's like what's the right word? Almost like a pill shooting out towards the asteroid, and it's one of those sonic things that we see in the prequels. Sonic bombs.
Wow! Yes,
That's right.
love it.
And the whole
sonic
asteroid,
depth charge.
that side kind of crumbles and then starts to push. So yeah, I think that gives me fatigue.
Yes, it does. It gives you 3 fatigue.
Okay. I think I already had 3 fatigue.
Yes,
Oh,
so
no.
you should be up to 6.
Yeah, okay.
And do these double as well? Do these count as successes for the?
So I
the
don't think
void
so. Let's take a
magnetics
quick
thing?
Yeah.
look. It says
No, because it says not talents.
Yep.
Okay.
So that takes you up to 15, right? Because we go 3 more ticks. So you're now up to the 3rd hit. So you have effectively moved past the asteroid blockade that was set by Graf Tarvo. And I think this is a whole nother nav point that we defined that Tiny did. Is basically the sonic depth charge, which, by the way, thank you for using that. That's so cool. And if you've never heard of the Airlock YouTube channel, they did a whole bit on the depth. It's hilarious and really, really funny. And I just want to mention that. Go look it up. It's great. But it does a whole thing.
Try and build.
So good. Sweet. Yeah. So here's the next nav point. At this point, sonic depth charge, that just escalated this whole evasion thing. They're going to start bringing their guns online, thinking, well, we'll just take out their engines, board this ship, and make them tell us where they're going. So they're going to start firing at you. So this next evasion is basically open fire. And I want to see what Janella is doing.
It's confusing. Oh, I guess because danger doesn't go away, but I want to deny. Like, I want to spoof their targeting reticles, I guess, by like doing computer stuff.
Okay, cool.
And I'm gonna just use that relationship that I
to automatically get 5 successes.
Yeah, to remove 5 danger from Grask.
Okay. Wow. So Grask, you go from 6 danger down to 1 danger.
Yeah. So like what it looks like is like I'm alerting them to like asteroids that are like you're making it look like asteroids are coming like right up against them with their targeting computers, so they have to fire wildly at these things that aren't actually there. But
nice. That's cool. That's really clever. I like that a lot. Sweet. So we roll around to the next round. Each of you got a turn, means I get to do a thing. And so they have already brought their weapons online. They fired a little bit, and we cut to the person who is the captain, because it's a frigate, right? So they've got a pilot, but they also have a captain. And this captain, we, the audience, see that they're Togruta, male Togruta, and they're wearing this like slate gray mask. So their voice comes out a little distorted as they say, "Bring the railgun online." And that is going to, Grask, you get 5 danger thrown at you right now. So you're unfortunately, because of this railgun, back up. And the railgun is actually pulling, like there's some kind of grav that they're pulling in chips of asteroids that they're going to throw into the railgun. And you see it powering up, right? It's like getting bright, like blue and then white and white. So what are you doing, Grask, in response to this new threat?
I'm stopped playing nice. I mean, there are really big asteroids. And I mean, that's not a moon, but it's pretty big. And I think they haven't had that on their sensors. So I'm going to lead them to just, I mean, hit that moon because they're shooting with railguns. That's not what we're doing here. You go and play with that asteroid, right?
Okay, that sounds awesome. So which tactic are you utilizing?
I'm using rush.
Oh, dangerous.
3 more danger. Yeah, I got 3 more danger. And you know what? I'll invoke my relationship with Janella and take 5 successes.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
just so we.
So the danger, because you
to
rush, that's 3 automatic successes before we tick the thing over. I wish I had a macro that would let me clear the reticle. That would have been a neat thing to have programmed. But you're going to go around the bend here. So I need to add 5 more successes as you get the 4th hit. And that is the final hit. So you get to narrate with those 5 successes, Grask. How is it that you guys escape the asteroid field, giving this frigate the slip, and make your way to asteroid 7785?
Yeah, well, I think that's precisely what happens. What I've planned. This big asteroid, we're kind of slingshotting around it while Tiny takes care of the smaller asteroids that are in our path and kind of plays billiard with them a little more. And they're still pretty busy with the fake asteroids that has thrown up, so they don't even notice that this is really that they think, okay, these were all just sensor shadows. This thing, come on, that's not, they wouldn't do that. And then they fly smack into it because they thought it was a fake.
Sweet, that is amazing. And that is where we will bring the story to an end for this session. You guys skate out of the main part of that asteroid field you've left. By the way, check the NPCs and places, Joe. You'll see a certain pick.
Really? You think I will? I wonder.
You think you will? So,
that's a good fetish.
Thanks. It's not great, but I did the thing. So you guys come out of the major part of the asteroid field, and we see the Ember arriving at asteroid 7785. That is where we will pick up next week. And with that, we'll bring the session to a close. And unfortunately, we will have to actually literally close it at this point. We will do, if you guys want to email or Slack any stars and wishes, I would love to hear them. Sabine will not be able to play next week. Steve is a maybe, but we will continue forward with Janella and a Return of Rusty. The Return of Rusty is what we'll call our session 3.
I think Grask will just stay with the ship because that frigate might still be out there. Or
there's no docking at all with this place, so I think you kind of do a drop off, and you're just going to have to keep it moving. That sounds awesome.
Cool.
I like that. Cool. We'll bring the recording to a close.